Do you ever find sleep to be a problem? I'm Jackie Elmer, and today we're going to talk about 6 simple steps that you can take for better sleep quality. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and grab my guide at lowertoxiclife.com. Now, I don't know about you, but in my 20s and even my 30s, I never had a problem with sleep. It was amazing. But as I hit about 40 and beyond, I began to find my sleep getting challenged. Now, I will tell you, for me, a lot of that had to do with my obsession with the internet. I took a business online in 1999, so I've been glued to a keyboard and then ultimately a smartphone since then. You can do the math. It's 24 as I'm recording this video. So for 25 years, I have had that issue. When I first took a business online in October of 1999, I had little children, an airline pilot husband who was gone, and the only time I could really get time to work on my business was at night. After I'd put my kids to bed, I fell asleep for a couple of hours. I would get up and I would go work for a couple of hours completely uninterrupted. Was that the wisest thing? Probably not, but it's what I did. So today, what I've learned is that light can be a big detractor. So a couple of things that you want to do. First and foremost, light, natural light, is very important to your overall health and well-being. We as human beings were designed and have come up through all these years with light being a big part of it. One of the first things that I like to do first thing in the morning, I know you're thinking, what does this have to do with sleep? Is I get out and I spend at least 10 minutes to 30 minutes in the bright natural or the coming up natural sunlight every day if possible. I live in Arizona, so it's a little easier because it's warmer here, but I like to get up and that begins to reset my circadian rhythm. That tells my body it's morning, how nutrition is supposed to go, food's going to be coming in, it resets everything. The other thing that I like to do is I like to get out in the late afternoon or evening, right before the sun goes down, and let my body know that this is the evening light and I'm resetting that way. And then the real key is, as best you can, begin to dim the lights in your house. Today, we live with such ultra fluorescent and these bright, crazy light bulbs that do affect our sleep. And then, of course, our little lights, the blue screen, can be extremely detrimental. If you find it's impossible to break up with the phone or your tablet or your computer at night, at least get a set of blue blocker glasses to begin to wear. All right. Next thing, when you eat at night, make sure you're allowing at least 3 hours between the last caloric food or beverage that you intake before you go to sleep. So if you typically go to sleep at 10 o'clock, you want to close the eating and drinking window for anything but water at 7 o'clock. At least back up. I like to do 4 to 5 hours, honestly. I find that my sleep does better the older I get, the more time I allow between that. And I'm an intermittent faster. And for me, it's easy to close my eating window earlier in the day because I can definitely make it through bedtime. Even if I start feeling hungry, I can talk myself out of it, go to sleep. And then I wake up the next day and I typically eat earlier in the day. Again, test and tweak yourself, know your own body, know what works for you, and you'll begin to figure out what's that best window for you for eating. Now, another thing that I will do somewhere in that same range, I like to take a magnesium supplement. I typically mix a magnesium powder with water and a couple drops of peppermint essential oil, or I'll mix it with cherry juice and apple cider vinegar and something like that, because magnesium can definitely help with sleep. Now, another thing that I've learned, and this is going to sound really old school, but I like to fall asleep to music, meditation, or whatever. Now, this is just something I've talked my brain into believing that it needs. And one of the things I'm working on is to learn how to sleep in silence again, but it's taking a bit of a process. So what I'm learning to do is move my phone away from my bed, off my nightstand, and I'm using an old-fashioned radio that has a CD and cassette player. And you may be thinking, wow, where do you get that? Believe it or not, I bought mine at Target about 6 years ago. So about 2018, I bought mine at Target because I wanted that exact thing. It has a headset jack, so I can plug it in so as not to wake up my husband. I memorize the little keys, the buttons, and I can just restart that in the middle of the night. I'll listen to soft meditation music and it helps me go back to sleep. So if you're fighting yourself with this little addictive thing next to you, that's something you might try. Okay, next step. You know how your monkey mind can go crazy at night when you're trying to go to sleep and you lay there processing all the things you didn't do that day or all the things you have to do tomorrow? Before you go to bed, just sit down and very simply write out your plan for the day, the next day, and write down anything that you skipped for today. Put all that on a piece of paper and then prep as best you can. If you are going to work out, if it helps you to set your workout clothes out, get everything done as much as you can, prepping the night before. That way, your brain is free and clear of trying to remember everything that you have to get done for the next day. And then this is my final bonus tip. If you've got an issue or something that you're struggling with, something that you're looking for the answer to, maybe you have a relationship you're struggling with, maybe you've got a business question or something going on, whatever it is in your universe, one of the last things you want to do before you drift off to sleep at night is ask your subconscious mind to find the answer for you to whatever that challenging problem is. That's all you have to do. Our brains are programmed to go to work finding solutions. It's kind of like, think about if you've lost your keys, right? You've misplaced your keys and you think to yourself, you ask yourself, what did I do with my keys? Where are my keys? What does your brain automatically do? It starts going, well, where were you last? Is it in your purse? Are they in your backpack? Did you leave them in the car? Did you set them down here? Did you do that? And we do that with anything we've lost, right? We ask that question, then our brain goes to work automatically, walking us through everything that we've done. You can begin to pre-program your brain and your mind to find those answers for you if you just begin to start asking it and listening. I'm Jackie Ulmer. Grab my guide for more tips at lowertoxiclife.com. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and please leave me a comment below and let me know what you've taken away from this and what comments and ideas that you have for the rest of us on how to sleep better.